Ah.
Hello and welcome to day 2 of the 10th annual Toy Drive. I'm your host, Christopher Gold, and this is my couch. Um, I'm wearing the same shirt that I wore yesterday for two reasons. One, I'm filming these all in one big chunk, and time has not passed for me. And two, changing your shirt, I don't know. Who am I trying to impress here? It's not dirty. I'm wearing it. Let me do you guys a song. I wrote this song a while back. This year. It's called Dogs. I wrote it shortly after the legend Mr. John Prine passed away, and I don't know how much it sounds like a John Prine song, but because of the timing in my head, it's always connected. And we tributed Mr. John Prine for the Toy Drive, and that was a great night, full of great music. As I record this, the Country Music Awards, I think they're called, were a couple days ago, and people are upset that they did not acknowledge Mr. Prine and a handful of legends that we lost this year that should have been acknowledged. And that's a shame, you know. It's like be like if Eric Church didn't acknowledge aviators and people with bad taste. My apologies to the Eric Church fans. I'm happy you're here. But listen to John Prine. And before you do, listen to this song by Christopher Gold. It's called Dogs. It goes like this. Everyone's in a hurry to deliver that bad news. Same as ever, same as always, the same things are always true. But a sky that could fall was never much of a sky at all. And there ain't nothing real that could ever be undone. So never mind those dogs in the alley, just howling at the rain, just like the storm. Don't hear their crying. Rolls in all the same. Mind that slow train coming. You best believe that it knows your name. Don't bring no bags to the station. Don't ask for any change. And now it feels like a lifetime under the weather and overwhelmed. Your rope ain't never long enough to reach the bottom of the well. But there are rivers all around you, and you could take a drink with your bare hands. When life invites you to dance, don't turn your back to the band. And never mind those dogs in the alley, just howling at the rain, just like the storm. Don't hear their crying. It rolls in all the same. Mind that slow train coming. Best believe that it knows your name. Don't bring no bags to the station. Don't ask for any change. Just never mind those dogs in the alley, howling at the rain, just like the storm. Don't hear their crying. It rolls in all the same. Mind that slow train coming. You best believe that it knows your name. Don't bring no bags to the station. Don't ask for any change. All right. I, like a lot of people, have been playing a lot of music this particular way in front of a camera out to a world I can't see, and it's been an adjustment. So, you know, I just don't know what to say. Usually I play a song, ideally people clap, and I say thank you. But when you play a song and nothing happens, it's weird to go, thank you. But thank you. I'm really happy you guys are here. I really appreciate the support of the Toy Drive. Like I said, it's important to me. It's something I've been doing for a long time, with infinite assistance from a lot of people, especially my wife. And thank you guys for always supporting it. It's been successful. The goal in years past has always been to collect toys and raise money. Um, the money obviously goes to Harbor House, and the toys. Interestingly enough, I learned this in the newspaper a couple of years ago. I didn't know this. What happens with the toys is they get dropped off at Harbor House, and then they get put into a room, and then the mothers that are staying at Harbor House or utilizing Harbor House services, they go into this room and they pick out some toys for their kids, and then they present the toys to the kids from them, and the kids have no idea that this happens, and I love that. Because I was trying to help kids, and it didn't occur to me that it's helping these women a lot in a time where they're under a lot of pressure and they have a lot to do, and they might not have access to all the financial resources, and they might have a strained relationship with a kid who's going through a lot. This takes a burden off them and ensures that they get to provide a holiday for their kid that they might have to struggle with otherwise. So my infinite gratitude to all of you for making that happen. Obviously this year we can't be together and I can't collect toys, so what we have is a GoFundMe that's in the description of the event or in the YouTube description, depending on where you're watching this. And we're just going to raise as much money as we can and then use that money to buy a bunch of toys for Harbor House and have them sent right to Harbor House, so everything can go as it normally would, but we can do it in a safe, kind of no contact way and that kind of thing. And that's also why we're doing the event a little early this year, because we have to get the money and then buy the toys and then get them sent to Harbor House and that kind of thing. So and obviously if we have some crazy big year, we'll be able to give toys and money to Harbor House. But I think for now the focus will still be on the toys, because I think that's just an important thing. I think I've said this before about the toy drive, but having a son myself sort of brought the holidays back to life for me as I was getting older and just kind of caring a little bit less, and seeing how important it is to kids made me think that, you know, these kids maybe more than most deserve to have a good holiday season. And I'm really happy and thankful to all of you for helping me and helping them. So I think it's great. Thank you very much. And we got a lot of really good music for you today. Up first, we have my friend Brian Johannesen from Iowa, and he's just great. I'm a big fan of his writing, and his latest record, it's called Holster Your Silver, and we'll put a link to that. I met Brian, as you do, as a sometimes traveling musician, or a formerly traveling musician nowadays. Sometimes you play these shows that might be considered a bust because it was a small crowd or something, except for the fact that, like, you met someone and became friends and became a fan of theirs, and that was the case for me. I was playing down in Iowa, and Brian was at the show, and we just kind of got to talking about music we liked and music we played and that kind of thing. And since then we've played a handful of shows together. I think the most memorable of which was at like a kind of supper club way in northern Wisconsin, and we're getting loaded in, and we're standing there, and Brian goes, I think this might be the closest I've ever played to a salad bar. And I look, and maybe 5 feet away from the microphone was this fully functional salad bar. And I actually had to think about it for a second before I said, I think me too. I've been close before, but never this close. And of course it ended up being a great show. Memory serves, it was maybe a New Year's Eve thing, but I'm not sure. I don't know. It was something. And we had a great time. And I will forever be grateful to share with Brian Johannesen the closest I've ever played to a salad bar. And I'll be forever grateful that he did this event with us, because he's great, and you guys are in for a treat. You're really going to like it. So without further ado, from me, Mr. Brian Johannesen.
Hey there, friends. It's a pleasure to be here. My name is Brian Johannesen. I first want to say thank you to everybody for participating in this. It's a really awesome thing that you're doing. Toys can make such a huge difference in kids' lives. They made a big difference in mine. Many of my toys from my childhood are on this shelf behind me, but I wanted to show you guys a little friend of mine. This is Jet. Jet was my mom's toy, and she gave it to me when I was young, and he's a little beat up, a little worse for wear, but he's been with me all these years, and he's meant a lot to me, and just an example of a toy, how a toy can stick with the kid for his whole life. And I have a song here that's kind of about toys. This summer in quarantine, since I couldn't play shows, I did a thing where if you paid me some money, I would write a song about anything you wanted. And my friend Grant wanted me to write a song about woodworking, flannel shirts, and Legos. And so I came up with this. It was definitely one of the more interesting requests I had, but I hope you enjoy it. I've been a builder since the day I was born, stacking Legos in a woodshed, spread out on the floor while Pa fiddled with a chuck job, whittling a duck call and a breeze blowing over the corn. Every memory I have that's worth saving smells like burnt autumn leaves and cedar wood shavings, feels like a smooth wooden handle, a hand-me-down flannel, and the chest that Pa was engraving. And it always sat right there next to his sitting chair, filled with my favorite blocks and my initials carved into the top. Moved Pa's woodshed to my garage. I still play like a child there when there's time on my watch. A 200-piece dragon, the Millennium Falcon, a flannel, and a nice glass of scotch. And now it sits right there next to my sitting chair, filled with my favorite blocks and my initials carved into the top. Cool, thanks everybody. Have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
All right. Up next, we have the mighty Adam Faucett. He's phenomenal. And I came across him the same way y'all did, or the same way you're about to. I heard people saying the name, and then I was fortunate enough to end up on a show with him and got to just hear him do what he does. And it's terrific. He's got this amazing voice, and he's a terrific writer, and his sense of melody I find really interesting. And I know that's a little inside, but I really love his music, and I'm very grateful that he's here. And I'm grateful to him for another reason as well. Earlier this year and last year, Adam was dealing with some throat issues that were pretty debilitating for him as a singer, and it was tough to watch. And then as he started getting better, I started dealing with something that at the time felt similar. It ended up not quite being as serious, but the effect was that I couldn't sing, and I couldn't, in some cases, really talk normally. And it was scary, and I ended up seeing a lot of specialists and doctors, and we finally kind of figured it out. and I'm grateful for that. But what I'm especially grateful for is that Adam took the time to reach out to me in like solidarity and to encourage me and let me know that everything was going to be fine. And as you'll hear here, he's back at it. He's back at better than ever, back at 100%. So his latest record is called "It Took the Shape of a Bird." I cannot recommend it highly enough. If I've ever recommended music to you, it's likely that his name has come up, and I'm very happy he's here. So please welcome Mr. Adam Faucett.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm Adam Faucett, and this is a song for the toy drive that Chris Gold is putting on, and I really appreciate you having me on, man. The dead don't fear it, nor the folks that are so damn near it. In your quiet voice I hear that we're almost there. And all my friends and our bets that never end, had we know what we've been running around with. Precious cargo, I told you it all and we still do not know who it is you've been running around with. Dry ice in the corner, not everybody came here to mourn her. Hell, some will say they were there that day just to watch her fall. And all my friends and our bets that never end, that we know what we've been running around with. That day in Chicago, you told me it all and I still do not know who it is I've been running around with. They won't take your word, they won't take your plea, they'll only take your head. So you know you've been running around with. Yeah, you know you've been running around with. Yeah, you know what you've been running around with.
All right. I think a lot of these are going to start with all right. I don't know if it's the subtle creeping out of my love for McConaughey, or if it's just, this is awkward, dudes. Let's not deny that it's a little awkward. I'm sure it's great for you because you're probably at home in your PJs. I'm sitting here at 1 o'clock in the afternoon trying to pretend that I'm emceeing a show that doesn't exist for people that aren't here. All right. But it's fun. I hope you guys are having a good time. I hope you guys are hitting that donation link. up next, I'm thrilled to have my very, very dear friend, Mr. Andrew Johnson. We've been buddies for a really long time, and I just genuinely, I love this dude. And I love his songwriting, and I'm so happy to call him a friend. And I think, if not every year, he must have the record for most toy drives. He is always doing the toy drive, and I'm always thrilled to have him. He's been a little quiet lately on the musical front because he's been busy doing other things, including but not limited to kind of taking over Mike's Music in Fond du Lac. Him and a friend of his are carrying that on, and that's great. It's a wonderful store, and run by great people. They service all my guitars and amps for me, and I've been lucky enough to get to buy a few things there as well. So go check it out. They're running everything safely and in accordance with what everyone's saying you should be doing right now. So go check them out and support that. And in the meantime, I'm hoping we might get some new music from Andrew relatively soon, because he's going to play you a new song that I've gotten to hear a few times now, and it's terrific. Another thing he probably wouldn't want you to know, but that you should know, is that when the transition happened where he was sort of running Mike's Music, there was a toy drive that year, and he just showed up with a guitar that we raffled off, and I was blown away by that. And it really speaks to the kind of guy he is, because, you know, in the modern age, you know, running a guitar store is not the most secure thing and the most guaranteed way to make money. And the fact that he would do that, that they would do that, was huge. And they're donating again this year. They wanted to donate a guitar to the raffle, but obviously we can't do a raffle via the internet, because I don't know how to fax you a guitar, because you probably don't have a fax machine. And when I told him, like, oh, that's really nice, but we can't do the raffle this year, he said, all right, well, then Mike's is just going to donate some money. And that, you know, that really meant a lot to me. And I hope that's the kind of place you guys want to support. So check out Mike's Music in Fond du Lac. If you're on Spotify, check out Haunted Heads, one of his old bands. Check out Holly and Plastic, which is, I assume the next thing that he comes out will be under that name. I just love him to death. So enjoy my dear friend, Mr. Andrew Johnson.
She speaks softly in Russian over the wire. I speak in poetry, and I believe every gravelly word. The real beauty is no one's committing to anything. And no one has to answer in the morning, not when we stay up all night, just to try and get my phone call to you. After all of the lines, after all of the wine, the curve of the earth is the curse, only based on the sun. Isn't that these speaking in poetry? I will give you everything, only now that it means more than just the truth. It was good enough for us in our youth. I've got a plan, right words and wrong turns. and I'll understand. And it will shake her, and it will break me, and it will make us the definition that we needed to know.
And that's a wrap on day 2. Thank you guys for being a part of this and for being flexible and generous. Hit the link, share the video, and we will see you right back here tomorrow.
Ah.